So do I need to register my new dietary supplement with the FDA? I have an idea. This is going to be brilliant. Do I need to register, and what do I need to do? So one of the key things to look at is the types of claims that are being made. The key piece is FDA versus FTC. As it relates to approval, if you will, the FDA is involved. If it relates to the types of claims you want to make, the FTC is involved. But obviously the FDA still has jurisdiction when it comes to things like, how should I put this? The types of claims you're making on the label or associated with the label.
This is the Darshan Talks podcast, regulatory guy, irregular podcast with host Darshan Kulkarni. You can find the show on Twitter at Darshan Talks or the show's website at darshantalks.com.
So what is a dietary supplement? A dietary supplement is a product other than tobacco intended to supplement the diet that contains one or more dietary ingredients. It's limited to products that are intended for ingestion in a tablet, in a capsule, powder, soft gel, gel cap, liquid, or other form. They're not represented as conventional food or as the sole item of a meal or of a diet. It contains an article that is approved. It cannot contain an article that is approved as a new drug or licensed biologic unless the article was marketed as a dietary supplement or as a food before its approval as a new drug. Dietary supplements may also not include articles that are authorized for investigation as a new drug or biologic. So overall, essentially what it comes down to is if you're a dietary supplement before, they might approve it for you to continue selling it, even if a approved drug comes into play. A really good example of that is fish oil. Fish oil was available for a long time. Amarin came in, got the product approved. Manufacturers that using FDA drug requirements, and you actually they have made a bundle doing that, but the dietary supplement makers can still continue to sell their product. There are two types of ingredients that go into dietary supplements. There are old dietary ingredients and new dietary ingredients. Old dietary ingredients are grandfathered. However, there's no authoritative list of dietary ingredients, and this is a huge problem actually. Manufacturers and distributors are responsible for determining if an ingredient is a new dietary ingredient, and if not, for documenting either that a dietary supplement that contained the dietary ingredient was marketed before October 15, 1994. And that must be independent and verifiable. This is actually a continuing problem that the FDA is trying to solve. On the other hand, if it's a new dietary ingredient, manufacturers must notify the FDA about the ingredient prior to marketing. And a dietary supplement that contains a new dietary ingredient shall be deemed to be adulterated. The notification will only be reviewed by the FDA. It will not be approved, and that's a key piece. So they're only looking at safety and not efficacy. Exceptions for whether an NDI, new dietary ingredient, renders a supplement adulterated. If it contains only dietary ingredients which have been present in the food supply as an article, and the food itself has not been chemically altered, that might be useful. Evidence that there's history of this product, or at least 75 days before introduction or delivery into interstate commerce, the manufacturer or distributor provides the FDA with information, including any citation to published articles, which is the basis on which the manufacturer or distributor has concluded that dietary supplement containing such dietary ingredients is expected to be safe. So again, if you look at ads and stuff, these dietary ingredients will come in and say things like pure, natural, and GMOs and fillers, and they'll talk about impact on blood sugar and impact on food fat burning. Remember, dietary supplements are not supposed to be making clinical claims. They simply don't have the evidence that the FDA. Well, they may have the evidence, but they haven't provided that to the FDA. So things like clinically proven and multi-patented, all of which don't get to the core piece, which is that the FDA never looked at that evidence. There's no independent verifiable body saying this product does all these other things. So if you're getting a dietary ingredient for those reasons, go look beyond what the bottle says. Don't just trust some guy at GNC. Don't just trust someone making up claims. Talk to a clinician. And again, they need to be verified as well, because you need to look at what evidence are they looking at. The other thing to look at is, again, the types of advertisements that go along with it. So advertisements have separate issues and they need to be regulated by the FTC. The key piece, the key takeaway, if you will, is dietary ingredients come in one of two types: the old dietary ingredients or the new dietary ingredients. And depending what it is, you may need to talk to the FDA, but not in every single case. Stay tuned. We'll talk about some more things. But until then, subscribe, ring the bell, and stay tuned.
This is the Darshan Talks podcast. Regulatory Guy, Irregular Podcast with host Darshan Kulkarni. You can find the show on Twitter at Darshan Talks or the show's website at darshantalks.com.